the stronger team over the course of many seasons. Peru has gotten deeper into the World Championships and running into their kryptonite a little bit. We saw them face off at NAIC.
Yep.
We've seen them face. Did we see them at EUIC as well? I feel like we've seen them a couple times this season run into Peru. And one thing is for sure, Luminosity knows how to play into this squad.
Absolutely. I mean, Peru plays incredibly strong into the things they know. I haven't seen like a lot of, we'll say, I don't know, Game 3 score comp tournament life on the line type changes out of Peru. They play more of a straight up style, and Luminosity, specifically this year over past years, has really had the advantage against teams that play traditional Pokemon Unite, because they're doing so much stuff off the reservation that they really understand the basic core of the game and trying to beat you in all the perimeter, if you will.
Yeah, you also have to recognize that at some point, I mean, Luminosity has an incredible plot armor on their squad.
It's wild.
By the name of Otter, by the way. I mean, what an insane steal that we saw in the Nouns game. We've seen multiple moments from Otter that made plays like Otter has saved LG multiple times this season in some crazy ways. Of course, there are many members of Luminosity who have also had moments like that. The Komai game where Overlord is able to take Rayquaza somehow with the sneaky Blaziken maneuver through the tall grass. There have been many moments where LG went to the brink and came back, and they're going to need to do it again here against Peru. Peru is looking to prove something as we head into this game. Luminosity, Peru, here is your draft for our semifinals. This is a best of 5.
Peru needs to take Luminosity to the brink if they're going to want to win. Because Luminosity right there, like we said, I think they believe that they're pretty comfortable. Charizard, Latios Band, Suicune, Snorlax on the side of LG, and they get the first pick to kick off our semifinals.
Yeah, I'm curious what they want to pick here. Banning the, Suicune means they're not able to grab it themselves, but the whole plan there was to get Slash on the Ho-Oh.
Yep.
Makes a lot of sense. We've seen how powerful this Pokemon is and how good he is on it. Over to the side of Peru, the next 2 picks now up.
Kea and Draken, who have honestly had an amazing tournament, who have been the lifeline for Peru without a doubt. The 2 players that you hear me talk about ad nauseum when I'm talking about Peru, now they're pivoting and letting Anemo get their Leafeon early, because honestly, it's a good thing. They're great with it, and it also takes it out of the hands of Trainer and a quick Mamoswine pick.
Yeah, interesting pick right here. I mean, an early defender, obviously you can still hide some of your picks later here, as we have the Mewtwo Y being picked up by Curios and Trainer grabbing the Scyther or Scizor. One thing for sure, they stole that from Peru. This is a Pokemon that they are very at home with. So this is one of those times, Doopsnacks, where I think both of us actually probably like this pick, because not only is it a decent Pokemon, especially in the hands of a very skilled player like Trainer or Overlord who might be running it, it also is something that they have stolen from their opponents, which is one of the most powerful things you can do in draft.
Yeah, to me, there's actually more value of it not being on the side of Peru than Luminosity actually having it on their team. I think Trainer would rather play any other speedster type character, if I'm being completely honest. But in this situation, they're not hemorrhaging too much value by grabbing it in the place of something else. And now rounding out something that you and I have talked about a little bit today and yesterday is this Lucario.
For me, Lucario has become the I don't have anything else to pick all-rounder Pokemon, and I don't think it's performed particularly well in that spot. Yes, these players are cracked with it. They've been playing it since the game release, so they are very seasoned on this. They can make some big plays. It just doesn't feel particularly amazing in this meta. Now, of course, we have cursed the broadcast by bringing this up at all. It's about to have the best game of the entire tournament and carry the whole thing. And honestly, Doomstacks, I would love to see it because I don't see much out of this Pokemon. Now, on the other side, I'm really interested to see Trainer on Scyther or Scizor, but I have to assume they're going the Scyther variety.
Yeah, my gut tells me Scyther, but the thing that I've keyed in on is Overlord grabbing Buzzwole. Again, incredible weekend, does a great job snatching things up by the ankles like a Leafeon, right? Repositioning, putting it and dragging it away from something like Clefable and putting it into the pocket of the rest of your team to knock it out. Now, what does this do for Peru? It puts so much stress on Draken and Kea to do their job. Fortunately for Peru, they are two of the best players at it.
Here we go. The first game of our best of 5 semifinals. Luminosity, your purple team. Peru Unite, your orange team. Let's get this thing underway.
We're taking a look, and we've got two Pokemon that do very well early for Luminosity here. Gonna put some work in against Peru, who has two Pokemon that kind of struggle in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Mamoswine has its moments, but Armarouge specifically is definitely not your favorite pick early until it ends up evolving here. You can see Slash just continuing to try to get towards that goal zone so that they are able to score and they are able to stack. Up at the top path here, and Nemo puts the pressure on. Obviously, that's what you can do with Leafeon, one of the best level 4s in the entire game. But here comes Trainer, and it is the dual wing beat. That's a Scyther.
Yep. Trainer coming up, running cover, and of course forcing Peru Unite to kick back. Anemo there as the Leafeon with the first one from the central to go up top, and Trainer LGC just hiding out, see if they can get a pick here as we have the 850 birds about to pop. Oh, good little shield by Otter to reposition Kea, and they're actually able to get a piece of experience there and evolve.
Yeah, it looks pretty good even for Peru right there, as both teams are just going to move away from this experience in the top and bottom path. Slash looking for another score to continue stacking, not able to make it happen, but Ho-Oh is so unbelievably difficult to take down in a moment like this. Trainer trying to see if they can make a KO happen, but no, they're too far away.
And of course, Overlord putting more pressure on. There's the reposition on Kea. There's the knockout with the E-ball from Otter. A real comfort pick for them here on this Mew. They get knocked out by Anemo, who's rotating back up. See the Razor Leaf shooting back to the Leafeon here. And Overlord just keeping an eye as Curios with the big time over rotate.
Yeah, they gave up a support for a support in a moment like that, and that's fine, I think, for both squads here, as LG has the pick of the litter when it comes to all this experience, sending it on over to Trainer, almost level 7. Slash down here in the bottom path, doing okay just by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, keeping parity with the levels here. Nice inject by Trainer to try and get a knockout. Tempo's gone,
Nice.
Kea's gone, and this goal zone's going to get scored on as Luminosity is just picking up steam.
Yeah, Luminosity is starting to have that snowball roll downhill here as they are picking up big wins. And when you have a Leafeon on the side of one of these squads here, you're expecting that it is going to be out-leveling your opponents, at least putting insane pressure on, but it's down 2 levels to the enemy central area here, which is never where you want Leafeon to be.
Nope, Slash putting pressure, gets almost Ice Fang down, but able to get out here as it's 4v2. Luminosity needs to hold it down with the player advantage. Here comes Trainer to try and balance the score sheet a little bit in terms of personnel. And now it's a 5-player rotation. Peru fully committing, and Overlord looking for a backdoors. Now they know all 5 players are there. We go to big time engage and a quick knockout on Ho-Oh, but we get one back the other way. Tempo's getting pressure put on. They dart through the red ice, and it's Lucario that takes it. And now Mew's running low on HP. They get knocked out. Peru showing signs of life as they're finally able to get some knockouts, and now they just want to get some points in. But the fight from Luminosity is brought right to the doorstep here as Peru finally is able to break parity and get some points in.
I mean,
not quite.
Peru is like really doing well in this fight. They did not have the Unite move advantage at first. We had Trainer move in with that Scyther, but they weren't able to get much done. Wonderful stuff from Peru right back in this game. In fact, taking the level lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Tempo going straight in. I believe that's a close combat Lucario we've got there from them. Gonna sit by this Clefable, get topped off on HP, and Peru, although down on the scoreboard, finds themselves back into the action here with a good scrap.
Yeah, and now we have Luminosity deciding how they want to handle this Regieleki with multiple members of Peru looking for a possible fight here. Here comes Trainer right into a close combat, gonna have to peel back, but it looks like Tempo's in some trouble right now. Big time Leafeon Unite move as they push forward and pick up 3!
That was an amazing Emerald 2-step out of that Leafeon, and despite a decent smackdown on Tempo to try to get them away from the rest of the Peru Unite Peru squad, Luminosity is unable to convert, and it's Peru getting the best of it. Now they snag themselves a Regieleki, and they're going to see if they can do something.
You know, they took away this Scyther, but it doesn't seem like Peru minds too much. They might have actually gotten some better picks instead. Here comes the Unite move from Overlord as they move in for a fight.
Wow, 3 back the other way, and the chase continues. Trainer finally feeling this Scyther a little bit, and now Draken is forced to start flopping around and going on a rampage themselves as Trainer goes straight to score, and Slash is going to try and run cover, and they're able to get the quick knockout and more points in.
Look at this here. I mean, LG just keeping the pressure on score-wise. 216 to 33. Even though Peru's had some good fights, LG just continues to take over the map. Level-wise, this is closer than it was earlier in the match. However, Luminosity, 216 points, and they can start pushing towards some of these tier 2s. Peru, on the other hand, at least has some nice scoring opportunities and a lot of experience on their side of the map.
Yeah, Luminosity's taken a lot of, Peru's taken a lot of good fights. However, they've been on Luminosity's goal zones, which means as the players rotate back in, they've been able to stand there and defend it with the support of the goal zones that they have. Luminosity, on the other hand, when they win their fights, they're kind of out in the open, which allows them to collapse on goal zones and get points in. We're starting to score, we're getting attacks in. That's a big Buzzwell Unite right in the middle. Overlord with the carry, 4 players down, dusted instantly off the back of this Scyther, and a nice Overlord Unite move.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here, and in the top path, they're trying to score, but you can see the Mew able to stop it right there. 295 to 33. Unite move to try to take down an ML right here, and look at that with the eject button tech. Otter picks them up. That's how you support, by KOing everyone.
That's shades of the old school. That solar beam, Q up, eject button, get the knockout anyways on the reposition. Luminosity doing a great job all over this map and really snuffing out the flame that Peru Unite tried to start.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, look at the levels here. That Scyther, after those multiple KOs, the huge scoring in the bottom path, is now a level 14 as they are heading, looking for a fight here.
Huge serve reposition. That, unfortunately, does not convert into anything, but at least slows down Peru a little bit. Instead of having a big-time win, they get 1 knockout, and they're kind of bullied back. Draken with the reposition on Slash gets them another knockout. Not that bad of a look, considering the situation that they're in at the start.
Yeah, you know, it's not terrible when it comes to the knockouts, but all the while, we still have Luminosity scoring. Now they're up by over 200 points as we're a minute out from Rayquaza. We also have Curios able to check the bush right there. Really beautiful surf, and look at the combination from this crew. Just absolutely ripping through Peru. Trainer level 15.
Draken can do nothing but run away. Mammoth Swine is chunky, but not in the face of 5. So they peel back after 3 players have been done and dusted. We got 30 seconds to array. Luminosity in full control.
Yeah, Luminosity controlling this thing way up on the scoreboard, as we've talked about. And with a Registeel buff giving them extra damage as we move towards Rayquaza, a level 15 Scyther is devastating for Peru.
Yeah, Otter actually taking a look at their tier 1, just seeing if they can get some vision. Slash checking the front bush. Gonna, again, just try and figure out where Peru is, because the onus is on Peru to make a move.
Yeah, Peru needs to make a move here, but it looks like Luminosity wants to force them into a fight. They're gonna start tapping this with the Buzzwell right here, charging up that muscle gauge, asking them to come in and fight.
Right in, the fight is engaged. Buzzwell Unite is out. Mewtwo wide follow-up, tons of damage down. Rayquaza taken by Luminosity in the blink of an eye, and now Draken's getting shredded here by the players remaining of LG. Ice Fang reposition. The back half scores are starting for Peru to try and get themselves into this. Quick revive there from Slash the Ho-Oh as we are stomping towards the goal zones with at least a shield, question mark? Does Overlord still have theirs? No. Actually, all the shields broken, so counter push is in the cards here.
Yeah, it's possible they can make a push right here, especially if Luminosity overcommits on this goal zone, but they definitely don't need this. 436 to 233 as we have Peru trying to stop them, but LG just continuing to fight on their tier 2, and they're picking up KO after KO after KO. They do have 1 shield. It's on Otter.
Yeah, Otter going to go to the middle, maybe pick up some AOS energy here, find their way, and really cement this thing. into a game 1 win, as you have Slash getting vision, counting the players on the other side of the map. And Peru, if I were them, I would just start talking about game 2 and what their strategy is going to be.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they are. Of course, they would love to make a push happen here, but they have to score so much while also forcing Luminosity to score nothing at all. Down by over 200 points thanks to that early, strong score lead. Moving towards the goal zone here with 30 seconds left, Duke Snacks.
Yep, we're just going to start A-pressing, using all our abilities, using all our Unite moves. Overlord with another pop there as we went for an Emerald 2-step as well. Leafeon is going to be gone. Tempo getting a knockout, at least on Overlord for now. The Razor Leaf gets pulled back, and the push continues, but is it going to be enough? We're running out of time. 10 seconds left, and it continues. A good little surf reposition. That's 4 players down instantly, and guess what? Clefable can't hang. They're out of here.
Beautiful stuff from Luminosity, and you know, as they said, history just tends to repeat itself here against Peru. It feels like Peru is behind. Luminosity keeps pushing. There's really just no way for them to climb out of that water that Luminosity drags them deep into. A beautiful game from LG, who is looking to move